choice of looking at the situation from two different paradigms. I could either not go out because it's raining and I don't want to get all wet. I'm on my bike and my bike won't ride as nicely when it's raining, and I won't be able to film this film whilst I'm biking because it's raining. Or I could use this as an experience, as a chance to find my strength, to find my resilience from within. What happens when the going gets tough? Spoke about that yesterday. What happens when the going gets tough? Do we end up succumbing to our situation? Do we become a product of the situation, a victim of the situation? Or do we rise above it and remain independent, remain fortified and strengthened from within? A lot of people will try to make you feel inferior in this lifetime. A lot of people try to make you feel unworthy in this lifetime, in this life. You could either rise above it or become a victim of the situation. You could either become a victim of the situation and hence say, I'm a victim, I'm the result of somebody else's hurt. Or you could rise above it and remain intact regardless of what comes your way. A couple of days ago I spoke about the amazing film Joker and the unbelievable message, the pertinent message which I got out of the film. It was a powerful film. Yes, it was a very painful film, but it left within me a totally new outlook on my situation and that of others. In my lifetime, and I could go on and on about this because there's just never enough. There's never enough time for me to be able to describe to you what it was, what it is that I've learned from the people who rejected me in my life. Imagine a 900-man rally. Imagine a GoFundMe appeal with thousands, hundreds of thousands of pounds raised, all with one mission: to stop Jessica. And then a suicide rumor which was spread about Jessica because they couldn't tolerate Jessica's existence. Imagine surviving all that. Imagine rising above all that, knowing that if you rise above it, you'll be untouchable thereafter. I'm out here in the rain. It's pouring rain. I'm on my bike. I could have been deterred. I could have said, it's pouring rain, and I refuse to get wet. I refuse to maybe ruin my bike. Will it ruin the bike? I don't think so. I don't think it's going to ruin the bike, a bit of water. But I could have been a product and a victim of my situation. I could have said, it's been days and even weeks since I've gone out my bike, and today's going to be another number in counting. Or I could have done what I actually did, and that is get out of my bike, not be afraid, not be deterred, and not be a product, a victim of my situation. I see the weather, I see the rain around me as part of my resilience. I'm strong. I rose above it. I wasn't deterred by the weather. God sent me this amazing weather, this amazing means of finding resilience from within me, and not be a product of my feelings, of my worries, of my status, of the situation. You know, people think that being strong and resilient just comes like that. Big deal. Just be resilient. Comes overnight. Think as though that it doesn't. It takes time, and there are plenty of fools on the way. On my YouTube videos lately, I've been talking a lot about the concept of different kind of spiritual teachings. Different spiritual teachings which at times seem to be polar opposites of each other. Love yourself, says Matt Kahn, regardless of how you feel. Love yourself and live in your situation, and love yourself even if you have not reached a high peak on your means of calibrating your level of frequency, your resilience, and your vibrancy. You're not so vibrant today. One spiritual teacher will turn around and say, that's bad. You should be vibrant. Another spiritual teacher like Macon, who believes in a more modern approach of all loving, he says, that's not bad. Look at your situation and think about its strengths. You're feeling sad? It takes strength to feel sad. It takes strength to think about your situation, which causes sadness. I once saw scientific research which says that people who feel sadness and depression tend to be people who are more intelligent, because they have the brain capacity to think through their situation and gather their thoughts in such a manner where they can make a decision for themselves how they feel and what the feeling is causing them. It's an interesting way of looking at it, but I really want to point out that all spiritual teachings are important. I respect, I revere all my spiritual teachers. They all have good points, they all have good perspectives, they all have good ways of looking at things, and whilst sometimes a lot of what they teach might sound like contradictions one to each other, and with Matt Kahn, he even sort of ridicules the old spiritual teaching, and that's okay too, because he's not ridiculing the old spiritual teachings, he's ridiculing the mind which thinks that it needs to be fixed a certain way. You don't have to be fixed a certain way. You don't have to hold on to that grasp and feel a certain way and live in a certain paradigm, live up to people's specific specifications and people's specific expectations. You can let go. Love yourself regardless of how you are, and mock any means of holding on and really holding tight, holding your fist tight, believing that you need to think in a certain way. You need to believe a certain way to be spiritual and to be strong. You don't have to think a certain way. And you can let go. And you can even have a bad day. You can even have a day where you don't remember the word spirituality at all. It doesn't get mentioned in your brain at all. What is spirituality? We all have spirituality. Even the person who's an atheist has spiritual elements within them. What do I mean by that? If you believe in resilience, in determination, in strength, which is all about rising above your situation, you have hence touched on a spiritual way of thinking, on the spiritual paradigm. You have hence put yourself into the spiritual mind frame. I've told people in my life, you tell me you're an atheist, and I respect that. I respect all human beings. But if you're an atheist, how is it so that you manage to rise above your difficulties? How is it so that you remain resilient despite your situation? I know that the atheist doesn't want to hear that, and the atheist wants to believe that has nothing to do one with the other, and it's just a coincidence that the two happen to come together. That's fine with me. But my interest in spirituality is not so much about the divinity. It's more about resilience. It's more about coping in a difficult situation. It's more about coping despite and regardless of what's thrown at you. Despite your concept and your idea of what was put forth in front of you as to what victimhood actually means. Despite all that, coping, resolving your situation from within, having a resolve, having a determination which rises above all situations, all circumstances. That's the way I view spirituality. Obviously, I believe in the divine, I believe in God, I believe in the universe, and anybody who doesn't believe in it, that's fine with me. We still have other common denominators, specifically when it comes to rising above your situation. Specifically when it comes to rising above your situation, despite the pouring weather, I am right now soaking wet, my coat is soaking wet, rising above it, not allowing it to define me, not allowing it to control me, not allowing it to manipulate me, and not allowing myself to become a victim to my circumstances. That's my powerful message today. If you have any thoughts or comments, please leave in the comment section down below. And why not feel free to share this video with your friends, family, acquaintances, your peers, and even your grandma. Everybody can learn about this amazing lesson on resilience. If you haven't subscribed yet, why not press that subscribe button and the bell notification right next to the subscribe button so that you too can see these amazing videos, these amazing lessons and messages on a daily basis. I love you so much. I want to wish you a great weekend, And if you celebrate the Sabbath, have a great Sabbath. I love you so much. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. I love you.